chocolate sauce, anyone? This isn't chocolate sauce. This is resin, to which I've added a little bit of I think micro balloons, I think they're called. They're usually added to make a filler, but I've just added a little bit to bulk it out a bit, while still keep it sort of liquid. So I've added the hardener, and I'm going to pour it around the edge here. There's a little bit down below this this plate, and this is a favourite place for water to gather in normal circumstances, and it really annoys me. So this is my effort to try and stop that, and I'm trying to do this before it rains. So I'm literally just going to pour this into this, I guess, a gully, and let it find its own level. I would say I have weighed the boat down at the bow. I've shifted as many heavy things to the bow as I can. Oh. So that's one side down. Oh, sugar. Come on. So I'm in a little bit of a hurry to get this done before it rains. So we'll pour the old chocolate sauce in. Now I don't know whether this will be enough. I hope it is. I may need to add another lot at some point in the future. This stuff is not cheap. Nothing is anymore. Yeah, I think we'll let that find its own level. And I'll just wipe up this stuff that I've spilt. There we go. So I'm not bothered about the stuff that I've spilt, because I fully intend to paint over this again. Right. So you'll have to forgive the noise. I've got the tarpaulin up because we've got rain coming. In fact, we have had rain. We're going to get some more. So today I'll be working in the cockpit again, and this is the I suppose they're cockpit lockers, but I call them pockets. They're open. There's nothing to stop rainwater getting in there. Rainwater has got in there for the last God knows how many years, and there's been metal tools stored in places like this, and they've reacted with the steel of the boat and caused an awful lot of corrosion. So I've done the best I can. I will just poke you in there so you can have a look around. And that, I'm afraid, is the best I can do in such an awkward space. So there are 3 of these pockets, and the smallest ones are towards the stern, and they are the worst ones for rust. So I've done this side. I'm going to do the other side, and then get some rust converter on pretty quick. So that's the rustings converter on as best I can. It is a tight space, awkward to get at, so I'm just going to let that dry, before I can get some paint on. Meanwhile, I will have a go at the other pockets. Well, it's quite early in the morning, early for me anyway. So these pocket lockers, I've cleaned them out as best I can. I mean, they were and still are quite bad, but at least there's not much rust or loose rust left in them. I've got this old dinner paint. I've no idea what it is, but it's blue, a light blue, which I'm not too bothered about. That'll be fine. But I've got to do it now because we're supposed to get some rain shortly. So the idea is get this paint on and then I can use some old bits of tarpaulin which I'm going to tape over the entrance, and that should keep any rainwater out. Right, so excuse me peering over here. Where are we? We are the port side of the boat, and I'm basically halfway along the cockpit, and this is the underside of what I call the cockpit pockets or cockpit lockers. They're basically holes in the side of the cockpit for storing things. Now they've no doors, nothing to keep the weather out of these pockets, and you can see that rain has got in, and there's been tools used to be stored in here, and they were all rusty as anything, so they all went like 2 years ago. I threw them out, but you can see where rust has formed, and there's a little hole there. So water, when it's been raining, water has been getting in and dripping down. So what I'm going to do is get some filler in to the pockets from above here and just cover these holes up, and then it's going to be out with the old rust treatment and get some more paint on. The insides of the pockets have been painted. I think you'll have seen that, but at the moment the rain is holding off, so I'm going to get out there and get some more filler mixed and get that in. Right, so we might be going outside. Nothing much, so okay, that'll do. And once this is all cured, then I'll just go over it with another coat of paint. While I'm at it, I thought I'd do, this is the starboard side, same location but just on the opposite side of the boat. I think you might be able to just see there's a big hole here. I was thinking of using this because I was thinking of putting the engine controls up in the cockpit rather than on the binnacle, which is where they are just now. That may not be possible, but in any case I think I would rather make a fresh hole to where it's needed. So I'm going to fill that hole. Now the filler I'm using is fairly good at bridging quite big gaps. So I don't need any glass mat to reinforce it. And what I'm going to do, if I can find where I've put it, where did I put it? There it is. Sorry. I've got a piece of wood and some viscous greaseproof paper, so I'm going to put that over the hole and then I'm going to prop it with this. If I can manage to do this without dropping anything, it'll be a miracle. Let's just get this extended first. Now, I'm trying not to damage the camera as well. If I push that up and then think that'll do it. So now I can go outside and just fill that hole with filler and put a bit of excess around the edge. Oh, hello. On my task list for today, one of the things I have to do is to tighten these nuts up. This is the backing pad for the top bracket of the hydrovane. So that was all refitted a couple of weeks ago. There is just a little bit of a gap on the top of this pad. Behind the pad is some filler. So what I want to do is to just neaten it off by filling that gap. But I'm going to tighten the bolts first. These holes where the original position of these bolts was, I have debated about filling them. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to put a couple of short bolts in and just tighten them up so that I've still got the holes there should I need them at some point in the future. There may be something I want to fix on the stern. We shall see, but it seems to me to make no sense to fill them just now. If I just put bolts in, then I can easily make use of them if I need to. Does that make sense? Yeah, of course it does. Anyway, so I think it's that size. Yes, it is. I know these bolts are far too long, but again, I'm not too bothered because it may be that I can use this end of the bolts for securing something else, even if it's some kind of shelf or something like that. So I'm leaving them as they are. The bottom bolts are tightened up, so I've only got to tighten these ones, and then I'll get some filler in the top. Then once that's done, it's going to be task number 2. So let's get this one done, eh? So this is my filler which I've mixed with the hardener, so I don't need to hang about with this. I need to be quick. But careful. I don't want to make a huge mess with it. While I'm here, I just thought I'd point out, you may have noticed this insulation just hanging down. That's because I had to pull it off because I've mounted a junction box on the deck for a couple of cables that need to come through the deck just here. So I had to get a couple of bolts on to secure the junction box. So that's why this is just pulled down. And the thing that I've noticed is that the underside of the deck here has been protected from the insulation, has been protected from the condensation. So there's no rust formed up here. So that gives me a bit of confidence in that what I did with all this insulation has been a good thing. Something's got to happen before winter. I'm not looking forward to another winter like the last one, because even though I had the insulation, the condensation was forming on the insulation and it was dripping everywhere. Absolutely horrible. Got mould everywhere. Hated it. So I need to think about that before winter comes. I've just seen a cobweb. I am not alone in this boat. Oh, I better put some lights on. Oh, that's better. One of the downsides of having to live and work on a boat is, like now, I've been doing some varnishing. I've got some bits of wood over here. I'm going to use these fairly soon, so you'll hopefully in this video or the next will be an explanation of what I'm using them for. But of course I'm also trying to cook and I've got the smell of varnish, which it's not unpleasant, but it's not the sort of smell that one normally associates with food. Anyway.